guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I have not posted in a really long time. I've just been really busy with school, and honestly I am running out of ideas for videos, so if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to comment them down below. But yeah, other than that, also if you guys have any other questions, just feel free to comment them. I'll try my best to answer. And yeah, this video is just gonna be about what I used to study and other recommendations that I have and things that have helped me throughout my college career. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So before I get started, I wanted to mention that I've been working on a blog, and I've just been posting things like how to use Schedule Builder, how to navigate GEs, why I chose UC Davis, a pre-health guide, and other things that I feel would be useful to other UC Davis students. So if you're interested, feel free to check that out. And if you have any suggestions for blog topics, or if you want me to write about something in particular, just use the form on my homepage. But yeah, I'll leave the link in my description, so if you're interested, feel free to go check that out. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what I used to take notes with. When I first started college, I just used pencil and paper, and that worked out for a while, but then there were just so many other issues that came with that, which is why I switched to an iPad. I'm currently using the iPad Pro 11-inch. I wouldn't necessarily say that you need the iPad Pro specifically, because I just think that a lot of other iPads are really capable and have the same features of the Pro, but personally I've really been loving the Pro. On top of that, I've been using a paper-like screen protector. It's not the actual paper-like brand, but it feels like paper and it's from Amazon. It's just more convenient to write with. One of my favorite parts about having an iPad is that I can store everything in one place. I can also keep my notes forever, and I don't need to carry a ton of notebooks around school. So when you get an iPad, you need some type of note-taking app, and the two more popular ones would be GoodNotes and Notability. So I'm just going to be talking about what I like and dislike about both, but overall I do personally prefer using GoodNotes. A main reason being that it's just really easy to freehand notes, and I like how everything is organized into notebooks instead of files. But yeah, overall it just makes everything look a lot neater. So starting with GoodNotes, like I said, you organize your files with notebooks, and everything is very visual, while for Notability, everything is just in files and folders, so it's not as pretty as GoodNotes. I would also say that GoodNotes is better for freehanding notes because it has a zoom feature when you write, and generally when you write with an iPad, you have to start zooming in when you start freehanding notes. So that zoom feature in writing is really convenient, but you don't have that same tool for Notability. You also have a little palette for colors and sizes for your pens and highlighters. It's nice because since you have these little presets, you can just tap on them to write notes quickly, but for Notability you don't have this feature, so you would have to click the pencil and then click again to choose your color or size. And while it's just 1 or 2 extra taps, it really does save a lot of time. Another thing I like about GoodNotes is that instead of pressing the undo button, you can literally just double tap with 2 fingers to undo. So moving on to Notability, overall I'd say Notability is not as aesthetic or fun to use as GoodNotes, but it's really convenient, and you organize through folders and files instead of notebooks. Overall, it's pretty nice to write on top of PowerPoints, and I really like the Move tool because you can resize the text just by pinching in and out and then rotating, but for GoodNotes you have to circle the text and then click the little arrow thing on the bottom to resize. You can also record during lecture, so you can record your notes at the same time a professor is talking, so that when you replay your notes, you can see exactly what you wrote at that time at which your professor said something. So when I got the iPad, I decided to also get the Magic Keyboard because I didn't want to bring both my iPad and MacBook to school, since the MacBook itself is just so heavy, and I got the Magic Keyboard with the idea that I would be replacing my laptop and just bringing my iPad. The difference between a Magic Keyboard and just a different attachable iPad keyboard is that the Magic Keyboard has a trackpad, and I thought the trackpad was necessary for when I took notes in class because it's more convenient when you go from typing and using your cursor to go to another line rather than just tapping on the screen. What I don't like is that the Magic Keyboard feels a bit weird when I type on it after I type on the MacBook because it's so condensed, and also you have to take off the iPad off of the Magic Keyboard when you want to handwrite notes, which is definitely the biggest downside of having a Magic Keyboard. But even though I do have to take the case off, I'd say the keyboard itself is still worth it because of the trackpad. And honestly, it's really easy trying to take my iPad off, so it's not much of a hassle when I need to write notes. The only worry that I do have is that when I'm handwriting, since my iPad doesn't have a case, I'm afraid I'll accidentally drop it and crack it. So recently I've been using Notion. It's a productivity site and I like it because you can edit it to look the way you want it to. It honestly kind of reminds me of Tumblr, and I've been using it to keep track of what I need to do for the week. For busy days, I like to plan my day by the hour, so I kind of have a visual idea of what I need to get done. I also recently started a Notion board with my boyfriend, so we can add like cute date ideas or movies that we want to watch together, and yes, you can collaborate on Notion boards. I feel like not a lot of people know about grouping tabs on Chrome, but it's really convenient when you don't like looking at a lot of tabs and want to organize everything section by section. I personally like to organize my tabs so each subject has its own group. So for example, I have a tab for my UWP class, my work, NPB, etc. Alright, so that's going to be the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you guys learned something new. And like I said before, if you guys want to take a look at my website, feel free to do that. I have a lot of blog posts that I feel like could be helpful for you guys up there. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below and I'll try my best to answer. And thanks for watching.